The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, good morning. It's 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Kevin Schrett.
When we fight, we win! When we fight, we win!
Hollywood actors are celebrating this morning. The strike officially ended overnight once the clock struck 12:01. SAG-AFTRA and Hollywood studios reached a tentative deal to end the longest strike ever for film and TV actors. The negotiations have been ongoing for 118 days, but they intensified last week when studios presented what they called their best and final offer.
My brain is exploding. This has been such a long journey. For SAG, it was 118 days. For WGA, it was 148. I've been on strike in some form since May 2nd.
SAG-AFTRA shared details on social media, telling members that the contract includes increased minimum compensation as well as AI protections. And for the first time ever, there will be a streaming participation bonus. Further details of the agreement will be released tomorrow once the deal goes to the SAG-AFTRA National Board for review and consideration. Back here locally in your 17 Court Watch, the trials for 3 men accused of murdering a rival gang member in 2021 is nearing an end. The case revolves around the murder of Justin Griffin Jr., a West Side Crip who posed for photos designed to be disrespectful of Bloods, a rival gang. Those photos, which were posted to social media, are believed to be the motive. Griffin was killed during a car-to-car shooting. David Gray, Demetrius King, and Christian Gaines are on trial for first-degree murder. Yesterday, during closing arguments, they were heard in Gray's trial. Later today, a separate jury will hear closing arguments in the trial for Gaines and King. A Bakersfield woman accused of killing 2 young siblings while driving impaired will spend 15 years to life behind bars. 17's Michaela Armstrong was in the courtroom during that decision, and she has reaction from the family of the victims.
It was an emotional day in the courtroom as family members struggled through tears to express their loss to not only all in the courtroom, but to the person that caused their pain, Lisa Kaur. Kaur was allegedly under the influence in December 2021 when her car went over the sidewalk at the corner of Panama Lane and Hammond Way, hitting siblings 19-year-old J.J. Malone and 10-year-old Kaylee Brown. Both died at the scene. Wednesday, Kaur was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison after pleading no contest to 2 counts of second-degree murder. Family members say they hope she serves as much time as possible.
They're the ones who are in the grave, not her. She still gets to sleep and eat and do all those things, and they can't do that. Kaylee won't get to graduate school, but she got to. She still gets to wake up every day, and they're stuck in a grave.
The afternoon of the crash, it was determined Kaur was under the influence of prescription medications, and she had prior DUI convictions. She was emotional in court, listening to each victim impact statement of the pain she caused. But father of J.J. Malone, Jeffrey Malone, says that doesn't bring closure to the family.
I think this is something like, when something like this occurs, I don't think you're ever whole again. I feel like it's always going to carry on in your life, I think, until you pass. I mean, there's no way around it, I don't think.
Kaur claimed she was too emotional to speak to the family in court, leaving the family disappointed.
The actions you caused gave all this pain to these families, and you can't say nothing to us? It's kind of disheartening.
I would just want to know, what was her thought process? Why did she think it was okay? Because, it was her 4th one. Not even, her first. It wasn't just, a mistake. I just want to know, what she was thinking, and if she does feel guilty.
However, Kaur's attorney said during court she was remorseful and, in her words, would give her life in a heartbeat to bring the siblings back. Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.
17 Crime Watch this morning. The Bakersfield Police Department's asking for help finding a person of interest in a deadly shooting. That shooting happened last month near the railroad tracks by Sumner and Baker. 40-year-old Henry Venegas was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say surveillance video captured this man following Venegas just moments before shots rang out. The suspect was last seen wearing a black Adidas jacket, black shorts, and black shoes. Police say he was possibly wearing a wig. If you know anything about the man on your screen, you're asked to call BPD at 327-7111. KGET is your local election headquarters. 5 GOP presidential hopefuls clashed on stage in Miami last night, and the Kern County Republican Party didn't miss out, gathering at Casey's Steakhouse in downtown for a watch party. 17's Jenny Ha was there and has the story.
Ron DeSantis.
Like the past 2 debates, Republican voters here in Kern County say they're looking for breakthrough moments for candidates that are not Donald Trump. 2 hours of Q&A later, the top 2 names for local GOP voters are again Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Though many agree Senator Tim Scott and former Governor Chris Christie performed much better this time around.
International issues for both Chris Christie and Nikki Haley seem to be their strongest point. DeSantis is excellent on domestic, which of course we have plenty of issues there with the economy and crime.
Not on the stage, but not forgotten, former President Trump. You can see how many say they would vote for him.
Donald Trump.
Former President Trump is who I would like to see in the White House.
So it's safe to say for now, Trump has your vote.
Well, we don't have a nominee, do we? So I think that might be a little premature. I'm open-minded, yes.
Kern's GOP voters tell 17 News economy and the border remain top of mind.
Well, certainly for Republican voters in Kern County, they're anti-Biden. Democrats are either going to have to distance themselves from the positions Joe Biden took, or they're not going to be able to win because people don't feel good about the economy and they don't feel good about crime in the streets.
And cheers in the room when Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he'd lower gas prices and make America energy independent. Haley taking it a step farther, saying America must become energy dominant.
Now, they did talk about energy, but I don't know if that picked up enough. It's the whole, I don't know if the American people's get. We understand it being from Kern.
But 3 debates in, what hasn't changed is who dominates the polls, Mr. Trump.
It is really tough. This is the 3rd one. We didn't see a lot of change after the first 2.
A new New York Times and Siena College poll says Trump leads Biden in 5 of 6 key swing states, excluding Wisconsin. These were all districts Biden won in 2020.
End this farce that Joe Biden is going to be your nominee.
Voters agree, saying they need to know who the GOP is actually running against to cast their vote. They say over the past 3 debates, no one has had a defining breakthrough moment. Some suggestions the 5 candidates would make for a good vice president or as part of Trump's cabinet. Jenny Ha, 17 News.
Making headlines around the state this morning, we are learning that 4 members of the LA County Sheriff's Department have committed suicide in a 24-hour period. All 4 deaths happened between Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning through different parts of the county. And while the Sheriff's Department did not identify the members or say that the deaths were self-inflicted, the LA Times cites numerous sources who agreed to talk about the suicides on the condition of anonymity. The department released a statement saying it, quote, is beyond saddened to learn of the deaths and an investigation's ongoing.
May we be blessed as we go on our way.
Time now 5:15. Many gathered last night at a vigil for a Jewish man who died in protesting in Thousand Oaks. 69-year-old Paul Kessler was knocked to the ground Sunday during a confrontation with a pro-Palestinian demonstrator. He suffered a head injury and died the next day. Authorities say they've gotten conflicting statements about what happened during the altercation. A suspect was detained and released after a search warrant was executed at his home. No arrests have been made as the investigation continues. Rabbis and guests at last night's vigil asked allies to support Jewish people and pray for peace. Welcome back in your Health Watch. A new warning this morning that some people are getting sick from taking fake Ozempic pills. The USDA says it's received at least 3 reports of people being hospitalized after taking counterfeit versions of the drug. The drug's been increasingly popular for helping people lose weight, prompting a nationwide shortage. The FDA says it will continue to investigate any reports of suspected counterfeit drugs to determine the public health risks and the appropriate regulatory response. The FDA has approved a type 2 diabetes medication to treat obesity. The drug, tirzepatide, will be sold under the name Zepbound. It's already being sold by Eli Lilly under a different brand name to treat diabetes. The FDA approves Zepbound for people with obesity. The agency also okayed it for people who are overweight and have one obesity-related condition, such as heart disease. During a drug trial, patients who used tirzepatide at its highest dose lost an average of 18% of their body weight.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in our Business Watch. The Fox Theater Foundation and Icon Concerts have reached a settlement in the disappearance of $154,000 in ticket sale revenue. Icon filed a lawsuit in September 2018, naming the Fox Foundation and two companies associated with promoter Bob Bender as defendants. The original suit alleged breach of contract, fraudulent concealment, and more, stemming from Bender's alleged failure to produce the ticket receipts he collected from shows headlined by comics Jeff Dunham and Kevin Smith. Terms of the settlement are confidential. Well, a popular Italian restaurant is ready to open its doors at a brand new location. The new Frugati's restaurant is 1 block north of its original location on Coffee Road and Truxton Avenue. Construction started back in February. 6 months later, restaurant owners say they'll be serving customers at the new location on the corner of Coffee and Brimhall starting today. The new location has more seating, a wine cave, and 2 wood-fired ovens. Yeah, Frugati's was just in such a tight spot over there, and it was always packed, like people waiting outside.
Yeah.
They just didn't have a very big dining room, so they expanded and they went big. They have a lot more space there.
And hats off to Ralph, the owner. What a quick turnaround.
That was pretty quick.
6 months, and the outside
Impressive.
looks phenomenal.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
KGET is your local election headquarters. 5 Republican presidential candidates battled it out last night during the 3rd GOP debate. They sparred over pressing issues including abortion access and the wars overseas. NBC's Bree Jackson reports from Miami.
And my second observation is these 3 in the middle think they're the enemy.
A high-stakes and fiery face-off between 5 Republican presidential hopefuls.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Adult daughter. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy answer.
During the 3rd GOP debate, candidates emphasized their differences on domestic issues, including the economy, border security, and combating anti-Semitism on college campuses.
If the KKK were doing this, every college president would be up in arms. This is no different.
While also taking on foreign policy concerns.
My foreign policy is simple. You cannot negotiate with evil. You have to destroy it.
Republicans address challenges ranging from U.S.-China relations to the war in Israel and funding to help Ukraine fend off Russia's attacks.
This is not a choice. This is the price we pay for being the leaders of the free world.
So to frame this as some kind of battle between good versus evil, don't buy it.
We need to bring this war to an end. We need the Europeans to step up and do their fair share.
The night saw a split-screen duel between those on stage and the party's frontrunner, former President Trump. He once again skipped the debate, opting to hold a rally nearby instead.
You know, the last debate was the lowest rated debate in the history of politics. So therefore, do you think we did the right thing by not participating?
Wednesday night's debate could mark one of the last stops for struggling campaigns, while a strong performance could provide a major boost to candidates heading into the Iowa caucus just over 2 months away. And the next Republican debate is set for December 6th in Alabama. In Miami, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Welcome back. Houchin Community Blood Bank is issuing an urgent plea for type O blood donors. This is a picture of Houchin's O blood type inventory. You can see it's empty. They say local use has depleted the supply of both that type of blood and platelets. Every typo donation and platelet donation will be entered to win a pair of Condors tickets, good for any Condors game, including the Teddy Bear Toss game coming up after Thanksgiving. The offer runs through November 18th. All right, let's talk about your forecast, and we're heading outside. It's a chilly start out there.
And let me just say, we shouldn't need incentives to save
Right.
somebody's life, whether it be a Condors ticket or a trip to Hawaii. We should just go down, we should, give blood, and, it could be a loved one of yours one day that needs that O-negative blood.
Yeah.
So hopefully somebody will step up and they will go down and help us fill the blood bank. All right, let's switch gears now, talk about weather, and you can see things are moving smoothly, but you can see here along the 99 near Panama, it looks like there may be a police escort there slowing traffic down, as there has been some construction in this area, and I think possibly CHP is pulling off to the side there, just kind of slowing traffic down. It looks like he is weaving in and out, as they could be picking up some construction stuff. So if you are going to be heading out along the 99 towards Panama, this is the northbound lane that you're seeing right now. They are pacing vehicles along the stretch of roadway, and I'm guessing because they're picking up some construction stuff. So just be aware of that. All right, let's take you outside and show you our temperature as well. We've got a cool morning, 48 degrees. Everything at Mohawk and Rosedale looking good, though. An east wind at 5, and here's a look at our hour by hour. And you can see we'll rise this afternoon right near 70 degrees tomorrow morning, waking back up by 5 a.m. into the 40s. A beautiful morning out of Tehachapi, but it is cold. It is currently 30 degrees, actually warmed up a couple degrees. East-southeast wind at 8. And as we take a look at the hour by hour here, temperatures expected this afternoon near 60, back into the 30s tomorrow morning for you. And then I want to show you a rain chance for the Bakersfield area. And you can see next week, there is a change by about Wednesday with a chance of rain. I'm going to go more in detail on that coming up in just a bit.
Kev, thank you. Kern County firefighters are cleaning up this morning after knocking down a big fire near Lerdo Highway and Highway 33. The so-called line fire started around 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Officials say while the area is flat, windy conditions fanned the flames, which grew from about 30 to 90 acres rather quickly. The fire was knocked down in about 2 hours. The cause is under investigation. New this morning, 2 family dogs were killed in a fire in Delano. You can see this fire burning inside the home there. This was early yesterday morning on Casa Serena Drive. Investigators say a person inside was woken up by smoke alarms and grabbed 2 children and rushed outside to safety. Firefighters arrived and put out flames, but say they were unable to save the dogs because of the intensity of that fire. The cause is under investigation. A frightening moment for a police officer involved in a crash in northwest Bakersfield. It happened yesterday afternoon at the intersection of Callaway Drive and Brimhall Road. The BPD says the officer was headed south on Callaway, approaching the intersection when an SUV headed north on Callaway made a left-hand turn directly into the path of the oncoming patrol car. The drivers both suffered minor injuries. Police say speed and alcohol are not factors in this crash. Well, a big step forward this morning for a tiny homes project for the unsheltered in Oildale. Supervisors voted to approve a 3-year, $7 million contract to operate the Oildale Supportive Services Village, formerly referred to as Tinny Oaks Project. The project will include construction of 50 2-bed units similar to these on land just south of Roberts Lane, along with bathrooms, a cafeteria, and administration buildings for support services. Unsheltered individuals living in the Oildale area will be given preference during the tenant selection process.
We didn't bring this facility to Oildale in order to bring more homeless people into Oildale. We brought the facility to Oildale in response to the existing homelessness issues that we're facing Oildale already. And so following along those lines, the thought is we're going to give preference to those homeless folks that currently reside in Oildale in an effort to improve Oildale as a community and provide them some relief from the impact that they're experiencing from the homeless population there now.
The $3.8 million project will be operated by Hope the Mission, a Los Angeles-based nonprofit which operates other homeless projects in California. The Oildale Supportive Services Village is expected to be complete next January. Traffic alert for you that could cause some driver frustration over the weekend. A portion of Stockdale Highway will be closed due to that ongoing road construction. This Saturday, crews will replace the asphalt on Stockdale Highway between Stein and Ash Roads. The road will be closed from 6 in the morning, 6 until 10 in the morning in that area. Then Sunday, the 2 intersections at Stockdale Highway will be closed from 6 to 10 a.m. Those closures will be at Stein and Gosford. Detours will be available. City officials say the entire Stockdale Highway project is expected to be complete by December 4th. So just hold on. Hyundai and Kia branded cars have been stolen this year at alarming rates. Though this isn't new, Hyundai is trying to decrease the number of car thefts with an event this Sunday. 17th Leah Fitzgerald reports.
That's right, the Kia Boys crisis is happening daily here in Kern County. Hyundai and Kia owners have been waking up to their vehicles being gone at alarming rates. One local company is stepping up to install proper anti-theft software. In fact, they're turning it into a street party. It was a casual weekend for Jessica Herman. She went to a movie at the Maya Cinemas on Saturday night, then came out to her car missing. She called the police but had no success. Her last hope was a Kern County scanner group on Facebook.
I post my vehicle, the license plate number, and I just kept posting it and kept posting it. And finally somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, your car's in front of my house." So I said, "No way," he sent me a picture, it was my car. I called the cops and I'm like, "Hey, I found my car, I'm gonna go get it, you better meet me there."
When she got it back, she had busted windows and the words Kia Boys carved into the ceiling. However, the valuables in the car weren't stolen.
We work hard for the things that we have, and for it just to be stolen by little kids who are terrorizing this community, it's just out of control.
Jessica's story is just one of many for Kia and Hyundai owners in Kern County. Hyundai owners will hopefully see some relief with the software update event this Sunday.
We've covered approximately 30% of our market and done the update. This is for the 70% who's never been to the dealership. They owned the car, they've never driven in here. We want them to drive in here, understand this is completely no charge.
This is going to help put a patch on that little bypass that they're able to do. And so whenever they break into the car, if they ever do break into the car and they do the hack, they cannot take the car anymore after the update is done.
It hasn't been determined yet if Kia will hold a similar event in Bakersfield, but experts say it's important to check if your make and model has been recalled so that it won't be susceptible to theft. Now, the Hyundai Owner Anti-Theft Security Update event will happen this Sunday at the Bakersfield Hyundai dealership from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with free food and a guarantee of being out in less than 30 minutes. Jessica advised everyone to join the Kern County Scanner Group on Facebook, as that's the only reason that she got her car back, and to go out and take pictures of your car now, just in case it is stolen in the future.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.